Okay. I see my little go live icon. That means we're live. Let's make an adjustment here on my microphone. My phony microphone. How's everybody doing today? It is a glorious Thursday morning here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm hoping it's glorious wherever it is you are as well. And we're going to have like multiple triple digit things going on. It might hit 110 today. Woo! That is a hot one, baby. So if you're in Las Vegas, float around in a swimming pool or stay sheltered somehow. Now we want to stay sheltered in place because it's so hot outside. It's crazy. Right as we can go out and do stuff, now we want to stay inside or in our property because it's so hot. Funny how that works out. Anyway, I believe it's the bottom of the hour, so let's get this program started. My name is Brian Williams, and I am the founder of a company called Real Appointments, where we guarantee sales appointments for our business-to-business clients. And that's what we do. And what we do every morning here at 9:30 a.m. is we teach just a little bit about our process in the hopes that it might help you generate your own business-to-business sales appointments in whatever business that you're in. If you are listening live, we do take questions. We interact with you if you care to do that. But before we go further, I want to introduce my co-host, Ronan Rahman, who is behind the scenes. There he is.
Ta-da!
Behind the curtain. Here he comes.
Yes, the grand entrance. Hey, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Good. I've got today is my In-N-Out mug, as it is every day.
I've got some new coffee mugs I just ordered. So I'll be switching up my coffee mug
routine.
Yeah,
have like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mug.
It's not so it's not so far from it, actually.
No. So today we're going to be searching on Sales Navigator, and you're going to show us how to use the free version of LinkedIn to find some people.
That's right. That's right. This is really a powerful tool, LinkedIn. And if you are either new to LinkedIn or maybe you've been using LinkedIn for some time, I'm going to share with you and show you today, this morning, in the next 15 minutes, 2 different ways that you can find the people who you might want to connect with on LinkedIn. One using just the basic LinkedIn search, and then one using their tool called Sales Navigator. So,
all right, fabulous. Well, I'm going to leave you to it.
Awesome. Well, let's just get right into it. Before actually we share my screen, I wanted to just make a point that one of the great things about people who are on LinkedIn is that typically they're receptive to making new connections, especially business related connections. And that's why we start with that in terms of wanting to maybe tap into a new market, meet new people in a market that we're already connected with. It is by far the most powerful social media platform for doing so. And it just keeps getting better and better. So let me show you how we do that. Excuse me, Ronan, if you wouldn't mind sharing. Oops, I guess I need to share my screen. Hold on. I am getting there. Normally I set this up ahead of time, but there we go. Share. Okay. So you should be seeing my LinkedIn screen. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. So here's LinkedIn. If you're, I'm not going to explain everything about this. What I want to do, new lips. What I want to do is go into LinkedIn search by just using their regular search here and show you what kinds of things that you can do. And I just clicked once in there, and it's actually pulling up some of my recent searches in here. And if you're listening and you want me to find people in an industry that are important to you, just put those in the comments below. And then when we move over to Sales Navigator, I'll show you how we can do that for you. So I'll just throw that out there. But for this, I'm going to just kind of randomly choose a market. And see, last time I did CPAs, why don't we do attorneys today? So I'm just going to type in attorney and hit enter, right? And this is a very, very basic search, but I want you to understand what kind of results come through automatically. So for attorney, you will get people that are attorneys. So you can see there's 35,956 results that LinkedIn came back to me. You'll also get these people badges, if you will. These are also people that presumably are attorneys. They all look like attorneys to me. And in my case, because I'm in Las Vegas, I'm pulling a lot of people automatically from Las Vegas, although I could, if I wanted to meet attorneys, let's say in a different part of the world, I could do that. And I'll show you how I can find those people as well here in just a moment. You're also going to find groups about attorneys. So one strategy that you might consider if you choose is join some groups on LinkedIn where the people who you want to meet are hanging out, and then just start interacting in those groups. There's just lots of different ways of using LinkedIn. And then there are businesses as well that'll show up in this search result. But normally we're looking for just people, right? People that match a particular business type or level of seniority in a company. So I'm going to show you a couple ways you can narrow down this search. So I mentioned that you could find people in a certain geography. You can also find people that have certain disciplines, right? And there's all different kinds of attorneys. So let's say that I really want to meet with attorneys that deal in estate planning or something like that, right? Or divorce or family law or probate, any number of different things. I can find those people as well by adding what's called a Boolean search command. And the command that I usually use is the command word and, A-N-D. And if I put that word and, all capital letters, I have to put it in all capital letters. It's telling LinkedIn, this is a search command that I want to add to my search. And I'll add something like probate, right? So now what this is telling LinkedIn is to go out and search for people that meet both of these criterias, attorney and probate. And when I do that, I'm expecting to get results that look closer to what I'm wanting to find. So you can look here, Alan Cohen, he's an attorney in Santa Monica dealing in probate law. Carrie Stevens, she does trust and probate. Ronald Reynolds, estate and probate. So I'm getting back exactly what I had expected in this case. And you could kind of layer these things, right? So let's say I also want to meet attorneys that are in the San Francisco area. So I could type in San Francisco as another Boolean command so that all three of these criteria now must be met. Is that how you spell San Francisco? I think so. I'm going to go for it. And you'll see now I'm pulling results back of attorneys that are in probate and in the San Francisco Bay Area. Here's different. So these are just different ways you can kind of narrow down using the main and free version of LinkedIn search. So, and if these are people that I want to meet, I can then simply connect with them. We're not really going into how we do that today. We actually talked about messaging yesterday on this morning training. And I will do a quick plug for a free workshop that Ronan and I are facilitating tomorrow on Friday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. If you really want to dive deeper with us and invest about an hour and a half on our training call tomorrow, you can sign up at guaranteedsalesappointments.com. And we're going to unpack over that 90-minute period our entire process that we use to guarantee sales appointments for ourselves and for our clients. So with that, I want to move over to the more powerful way that you can search using LinkedIn, and that's using their Sales Navigator tool, which is a paid service. So I wanted you to see both sides. So you can get started with the free version, and then as you build your appointments, you probably are going to want to get over to Sales Navigator, and you'll see why in just a moment. So I'm going to actually go back to our meeting, if I can find the tab for that, and share my Sales Navigator screen here in just a moment. And like I said, if you want us to do a search in an industry for you right now using Sales Navigator, just please let us know in the comments. And while I pull up Sales Navigator, that'll give you time to do that. LinkedIn. Hello. Okay. It's hard to.
Brian, just short of Sorry, popping in here, but just short of, so Brian Fleming would like to see landscaper.
Perfect. Great. I haven't done a search for landscapers before, so that'll be a good one. And you were saying, Ronan?
Oh, I was just saying, just short of somebody making a request, I would have done attorneys just to compare and contrast what it looks like, the difference between the free version and what you really get with Sales Navigator. And maybe we can do both.
Let's do landscapers. I like that. It's. Can you see my screen, my Sales Navigator screen?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So landscapers, thanks for that idea. So there's two different ways you can search, two main ways you can search using Sales Navigator. I click on this little link called All Filters next to the search bar first, and it allows me to search for leads or accounts. And the difference is really simple. A lead is a person, an actual individual, and an account is a business. So if I wanted to search for landscape companies, right, companies that deal in landscape, then I would use an account-based filter. If I wanted to search for someone who is a landscaper, then I would use lead-based filters. And in this case, I might want to do both, right? I might want to reach multiple people within a company that does landscape work, depending on what my objectives are. So you don't have to just do one or the other. You can do both. But for sake of this example, I'm going to use the lead filters and find people that are landscapers. So I'm going to click the lead filter link, and that's going to pull up all the different Sales Navigator filters that I now have access to. And you can see there's a lot here, and it's a lot more detailed. And it'll allow us to really narrow in and hone in on the people we really want to have those appointments with. So just like I did before, I'm going to start with a keyword. In this particular case, it's going to be landscaper. So I type in landscaper. And one of the nice things I like about these filters here in Sales Navigator is these suggestions below what I just typed. And LinkedIn is basically trying to guess at what is it that I'm really looking for. And what I'm looking for are people that are landscapers. So if you look down here, it says people working as landscaper. And that is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to select that to start with, and let's see what happens. So immediately I get a number up here of results. That means that there are 46,449 people that LinkedIn found across their entire network that match people that are working as a landscaper. Obviously, that's far too big of a list for me to manage when it comes to setting up appointments. So I'm going to start narrowing it down using some of these filters. The first filter will be geography. Why don't we pick, I don't know, pick an area. How about Atlanta? Why not? So I can type in Atlanta, and I can just choose the Atlanta metropolitan area, and that's going to narrow my search down. And you can see now there's only 862, right? Because these are just people that match this search in Atlanta. And I usually don't stop there, because normally when I'm running a campaign to meet with people, I have a particular, I have some other criteria, if you will, that I want to utilize. Some of the most common ones that I use are like, how large of a company does this landscaper work in? Is it a sole proprietor? Do they work in a small, like 1 to 10 person company, or a large, 200 to 500 person company, right? Depending on what it is I'm wanting to accomplish and who I really want to meet, I will go and use that other search filter, which is down here. It's called company headcount. So I can click on company headcount. You can see there's all these different parameters, right? So let's say I wanted to reach, landscapers that work in small landscape organizations, like 1 to 10 people. I would select that. And now my results are down to 175 people. And I'm starting to get to a manageable list, if you will, or a manageable size of list of people that I can now engage with in a one-on-one or personal level on LinkedIn. And you can see there's lots of other searches here. Sometimes another one of the filters I use a lot is this relationship filter. I'm going to click on that and show you what that means. So on LinkedIn, you have first degree connections. Those are the people that you're directly already connected with. And then you have second degree connections. You have people that might be members of groups. I had mentioned groups earlier. So that's another way you can find people that are members of groups that you're also members of, which is kind of cool. Or third degree and beyond. So I usually, when I'm doing a new campaign or any campaign, I usually start with second degree connections. Now, I have no idea if I have any second degree connections who are landscapers in the Atlanta area. Let's find out. I'm going to select it. I have 0. So I did, and which is not surprising to me because I've not ever reached out to the landscape niche, nor do I know very many of them. But so that's not going to work for this particular search. So I'm just going to leave it alone in this particular case. But if I were to, for example, in my case, do this same search for people that are attorneys or CPAs or financial planners or business consultants, which are all markets that I do a lot of business in, I'm sure I would find a lot of second degree connections that I could reach out to. So I'm just going to show you what the search result looks like by clicking search. And you will see that here are a whole bunch of people who are landscapers in the Atlanta area. And these all these people work for companies in that 1 to 10 sized area. And so our size. So now what I could do is I could pull these people into a list. And the way you would do that is I would click this select all button, and then I would select save to list here. And I would, in this case, create a lead list because I don't have any landscapers, name my list, and that's going to pull all of them into a lead list that's stored inside your Sales Navigator account. And then you can work that list, if you will, from that lead list. So you could have lead lists for landscapers in Atlanta, landscapers in Los Angeles, et cetera, et cetera. You could organize it any way you want to keep yourself organized as you do your outreach to meet these people. One thing that didn't show up here that I wanted to show, so I'm going to actually open up this search a little bit more. Let me go back to...
And Brian, Kathy has a question.
Go ahead.
She's asking, does Sales Navigator price include the option in the paid version as well?
I think what she means is, does Sales Navigator include all the other paid premium features of LinkedIn? If that is the question, then the answer is yes. So Sales Navigator is the top level premium service that LinkedIn offers. And you get all the features that I'm showing you here, which are all these advanced search features that come with Sales Navigator, as well as all the other services and features that come with every other premium subscription that LinkedIn offers below it. So you get everything basically. So I think that was the nature, the spirit of her question. If not, then Kathy, please rephrase it and I'll do my best to answer it. What I wanted to show you before we end, and I know we're going a little long here, is let's go back and do landscapers. And I'll do people working as landscaper. And I'm going to go, instead of narrowing it down to, Atlanta, I'm just going to do the whole United States. And then I'm going to go back. I'll choose my company headcount. We'll stick with that 1 to 10. You know, I still have a lot of results here. 6,500 is a lot of people. In this case, I might have some second degree connections. Let me look. I have 9. That's not very many. So I'm gonna leave that off. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show you the search results. That it's a big one because it's got 6,500. But what I wanted to show you is that landscapers are not a super active group on LinkedIn. And I can I'm gonna share with you how I know this. Okay, by this search result. And it's this. If you look at these tabs across the top of LinkedIn, right? This is the total number, 6,500, who identify themselves as landscapers in the United States that work for companies in this 1 to 10 count. But if you look over here, it shows me that only 31 of them have posted on LinkedIn over the last 30 days. And that's a small number relative to the 6,500 in this entire search. So I'm pointing this out because if I were to do a campaign to specifically reach landscapers, I'm going to want to reach people who I know are actively using LinkedIn, as opposed to people who might have a LinkedIn account, but have not logged into their LinkedIn account for weeks, months, or even years. And so one of the ways that I look for markets that are ripe for me to do business with on LinkedIn are those that have a larger number of people who were active on LinkedIn within the past 30 days. And this group is not as active. And the reason I wanted to show you this is because when I did the search for Atlanta, they didn't even have a tab for people who are landscapers that were active in the last 30 days. It was missing, which indicated to me that we might need to open up our search criteria more. So I'll explain how I would do that. So let's say this is a really important market for you. Hopefully you can do business with landscapers across the entire country and of different types and sizes. What I would do is I would be less narrow in this particular case on my initial search to open up those active landscapers. So I would maybe add more company headcounts, maybe 11 to 50, maybe self-employed, right? And you'll see the numbers start going up. So now it's 10,000 total results, but now I have 56 results for people who are, I know, active on LinkedIn and that meet this criteria. So I can just click that tab and it's only going to show me those people. And now I can put these 56 people into a lead list that I work. So I hope that's helpful. These are some advanced kind of strategies, if you will, that Ronan and I have learned after running hundreds of these campaigns for ourselves and clients. And so I wanted to make sure that I didn't hold back, especially because I noticed that there was such a low amount of landscapers who are actively posting things on LinkedIn. And that's all I really have, Ronan. If there's other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Let's bring me back into full view here. There we go.
Yeah, the only thing I would add is that, just a much more robust way to narrow down who it is that you want to talk to. And, LinkedIn, I think some people relate to it as a resume posting service when you're maybe looking for a job or kind of put yourself out there. But for me, it's a digital networking tool. It's a way to find people, not just a directory, but a way to meet and connect with people, especially today when we're not really going out and doing it live.
Yeah.
And this is a way to really hone in, right? So we've gone through the whole week now where we started with your market to message match. You're very clear about who you're targeting in your headline. Now, who are those actual people?
That's right.
Right.
So as we end today's training, I just wanted to make sure that you heard that we are running a deeper dive workshop tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. It will be live. It'll be a small group, probably no more than 5 to 10 people. Mm-hmm. So it's a great opportunity for you to really get some personalized help from us and develop your own plan of action for getting your own sales appointments using our LinkedIn strategies. And in fact, you'll walk away from tomorrow's training with a 7-day specific action plan for doing just that. So if you have the time, we'd love to have you. We'd love to see you tomorrow. And you can register at guaranteedsalesappointments.com. That's all I really have today, Ronan.
Yeah, I mean, that's all she wrote.
Okay.
So tomorrow, big day, training. See you there.
See you there.